Which was your first WSRM or ISRM meeting?
Um, I think the first was I was one of the founding members, and I think it was the meeting in Taiwan, and it was memorable just because of all the people that were there. You know, at the time I was a fairly junior guy, and just to see some of the giants in one all in one place.
How has WSRM changed during your involvement in the organization?
Um, I think it's clearly gotten much larger. Uh, I think the energy level has increased. To see when I'm at this meeting, young people that are just so interested and excited about, plastic surgery and microsurgery and what we do. I think that's it keeps escalating.
What do you think is the most important contribution and or innovation of our specialty?
Um, I think as on the broader view, we're problem solvers, and that's what distinguishes us from everybody. I think plastic surgeons are innovators, and we've developed so many different individual fields, and that's what makes us different.
Who are your personal legends or giants in plastic surgery? And if you would also care to share why.
Of the real legends, Paul Tessier was at Children's Hospital when I was there as an intern, and I had no idea who he was. And there he was smoking in the locker room, and then I got to scrub with him, just holding hooks, and true giant. Ralph Millard, when I did my fellowship down in Miami with Tony Wolf, was the senior partner, and I got to scrub with him several times, and just a master of soft tissue, really, unlike anybody else. And I also, with him, I think his books, very thoughtful. The Principalization of Plastic Surgery is a book that I've read many times, never gets old. So those were two of what I consider the real giants.
What is your favorite operation?
That's a difficult one. I still think for me the free jejunum for esophageal reconstruction. It's a simple operation in terms of the thought process, but the minute you hook it up, it is spectacular. You see every vessel beating. It turns bright pink, and then it starts to peristall. So unlike any other flap, it's just the best example of suddenly a live thing going from dead to alive.
What is an operation you no longer perform?
There's very few that I've totally stopped, but for me, the lateral arm flap, every time I've done it, it's been a struggle. And I've probably done maybe a half dozen over the years. And every time I do it, I say, I'm never going to do this flap again. So it's not that I would, if it's a flap that is just that if there's an indication, I would probably still do it, but I avoid it.
What has been the greatest joy of your professional career?
I think probably building a plastic surgery service at Memorial Sloan Kettering. We went from, during my time, 15 years, from 2 to 8 people, and every one of those people was handpicked and unique, very talented in their own way, and each one focused on something different. And I think we built, I feel like that was, for me, probably the most important thing that I've done. We went, we probably had at least 4 or 5 world-class people, still do. So, and I think, as a parallel for me, my kids are my greatest accomplishment, and I think the plastic surgery service to me is another big kid.
What would you have become if not a plastic surgeon?
I think probably an architect. When I was in college, I took several architecture courses. It was potentially a path for me, and it's interesting to me because when you look at a building and you look at a person, very similar. You know, you need to think about structure, the girders. You need to think about plumbing, the blood supply, electricity, nerves. And at the end of the day, as a plastic surgeon, it's most important how it looks. So it's all the same concepts, just in living tissue as opposed to metal and stone.